with the launch of the KBLA SMB Marketplace. For the first time, small to medium-sized businesses will have an opportunity to promote their goods and services on KBLA and take advantage of our powerful reach and local marketing power. The SMB Marketplace is hosted exclusively on KBLA1580.com and is accessible from all our social media channels. Whether you're a small mom and pop restaurant, a car dealership, or a professional practitioner, we invite you to join in this new KBLA Talk 1580 initiative to promote your business. As a Black-owned small business, you don't want to miss this unique opportunity to gain new customers on KBLA Talk 1580. For more information, contact us today at smb@kbla1580.com. That's smb@kbla1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
And if I share with you my story, would you share your shadow with me? Time to get it.
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
If a PUA or anybody in the manosphere makes note of the fact that men are abandoning the churches in record numbers, I think a lot of guys kind of get a little butthurt about that, because it took a PUA to point that out to them.
Can we actually talk about that? Because that's one of the points I wanted to bring up with you, was why men are abandoning religion. Is it because it's letting them down? Is it because they find the red pill and it's a conflict with religion? Is it because
well, primarily, I think just from a societal sense, like especially in Western cultures, we become less religious overall. So you have to take into account that there's a generational shift right now. Millennials, at least the last half of the millennial generation, and certainly Generation Z, unless you were brought up in the church, you're probably not looking to find a faith per se. And you're seeing that's problem number one. Is I think it's a generational thing. Like people still want to be religious, but they're like, I'm spiritual but not religious. Right? They're like Ryan would say, they're sheep looking for a shepherd kind of thing. Yeah. They like the idea of the metaphysical and the supernatural, and let's go take ayahuasca and trip out in the Amazon rainforest or some shit like that. But then, like we were talking about we've talked about this on Rule Zero on Saturday, is there's this, eventually these guys, come to religion in some way, shape or form. And then, so that there's that aspect. But I think that the reason why people, like guys who were part of church, have left church is because it has become overwhelmingly feminized. And that is a primary theme in the book, is the feminization
How bad?
Here we go. Here we go. The voice of reason coming in to tackle a tough topic. And I think it's something that, we need to have a serious discussion about. Men are leaving the church. Men are leaving relationships. Men are leaving. I don't know if men are leaving spirituality. I don't know if men have really come to terms with spirituality. This is going to be deep tonight. The spiritual gender gap. Ooh. Is there a spiritual gender gap? If so, why? Are men spiritually closeted or spiritually stunted? A deeper look at the effects of social conditioning versus social stigma in spirituality on men. Why is this an important topic in light of everything that's going on? Well, just go back to my earlier topics, and you'll hear me quote Krishnamurti's famous quote now. Right? You guys remember the quote? I think I've been saying it wrong for forever. Right? I think I've been saying it wrong forever. I think I said it's no measure of health to be fully integrated into a toxic society. But that is actually not the quote. The quote is, it is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. That's the quote, as J. Krishnamurti stated it, right? It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. Now, let's make the distinction. Because a lot of people think if you're religious, you're spiritual. Two different things. Religion deals with dogma, conditioning, right? And many people will probably don't want to agree with that. They'll probably push back on that. And if you want to get into a hermeneutical fight, I'm down. You want to get into apologetics, I'm there. Let's, you want to jump any of the Abrahamic belief systems. If you want to get active, let's get active. Get to your phone lines. But I'm making the distinction between religiosity and spirituality. See, religion sometimes speaks on the spiritual nature of God when it talks about the mystery of God. See, the more spiritual you get, the harder you're able to put it into words, right? So I'm asking, is there a spiritual gender gap between men and women in general? The research, as soon as you put in, let's look it up, and you try to look it up, as soon as you put in the research, the research question, what comes up is, yes, women are more religious, but that does not necessarily mean that women are more spiritual. I myself believe that women are tapped in a natural way to spirituality that men are conditioned to suppress. Now, when you're looking at our body of people, our group of people, the black folk here in America, okay? When you're looking at our folk, we descend from dysfunction. Look, and nobody gonna speak on that. We descend from dysfunction, right? Stockholm syndrome. Who is the greatest example of success that most black men would look to? Do we look to Malcolm? Do we look to MLK? Who do we look? Do we look to Elijah Muhammad? Do we look to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan? Who do we look to? Right? Let's just be honest. The way this society is set up, men have been taught to suppress their emotions. Emotions are a conduit to spiritual growth. You got to feel through it in order to heal through it. How many men are comfortable with the process of feeling through in order to heal through? How many men are comfortable with the concept of speaking about their pain and hurt and disappointment? And the flip side is, how many safe spaces are there out there for men to talk about it? Now, conversely, if a woman is not healed, but has a natural proclivity for spiritual awareness or an intuitive process, she could become very dangerous. An unhealed person wielding spiritual intent could hurt herself and other people. This applies to men as well. But it's rare that you find a man who has his spiritual gift intact, right, before he heals. Okay? You got sisters who have a spiritual gift intact and unhealed. Let's just, I'm not here to put blame on anybody. That's not what I'm here to do. What I know is, in a capitalistic, some would say, many would say, patriarchal society, men are taught to go get it, not go inside. They're taught to go get it. If you do not go get it, you're not a man. If you don't take the burden off her back, as if we're in the 1700s. But listen, it don't have to be the 1700s. They said, listen, you're not a man if you don't make it easier for her. Let's just be honest. If you make it easier for her, she will pour into you and thus make your life more fulfilling. That's the narrative many men have been sold, right? And because the way the male mind works, the linear thought process of A equals B, if I go get it, right? If I go get it, everything else will come to me. Unfortunately, that's simply not how it works. I've been telling people for over 25 years now. You, or relationships in general, are spiritual. Right? What does that mean? Spiritual. What it means is they're designed to reveal what you have closeted, what you have concealed, what you have repressed and suppressed. One is conscious, the other one is unconscious. Relationships with human beings are designed to well all of that stuff up to the surface. That's what I mean by relationships are spiritual, right? But you live in a society that says, I don't give a damn about any of that spiritual stuff. Your spectrum bill is past due. It's over. No Disney Plus, no nothing, unless you handle the spectrum situation. Right? So society creates monsters that are spiritually, internally broken. Right? And I told you guys before, I haven't even read the questions yet, but I told you this before. I said many men and women lean on the gender roles, right? The gender role says provide, protect, presence, penis, be there, be on call, right? But it has nothing to do or says nothing about healing yourself, brother. It says nothing about that. Right? It's very transactional when you just look at the gender roles, just the definition of them. You'll see it's very transactional. And I don't know if it's psychologically supported. It might be religiously supported, but I don't know if it's psychologically supported. So men go out, break their back, kill themselves take the bullet, go do that just to make sure she's safe, sound, and secure. Okay. But the spirit work of relationship is to be able to face oneself. And I'm not talking about just looking in the mirror. I'm talking about looking in your woman's eyes and seeing your reflection come back. The reflection of what? The reflection of what you've suppressed, repressed. The thing that makes you depressed. That you think if I buy a new car or if I get a new set of golf clubs, I'll be good. Tonight's topic is going to tear your face off. The spiritual gender gap. Is there a spiritual gender gap? If so, why? Are many men spiritually closeted or spiritually stunted? What do you mean, Zoe? I mean, it's not tangible to a lot of men. Many men are highly evolved spiritually, right? There are some men out there that have tapped in, but there are many other men who see spirituality as ephemeral, as something that is not tangible, something that is fleeting, right? Something that is mercurial. So here we are. Tonight, we're going to talk about it because there's something missing in us as men. Huh? If you could pimp a woman, something's missing. Let's do it another way. If you could pimp a human soul, something's missing. Right? If you can pimp yourself, something's missing. Do you see? Oh, it's about to get deep tonight. When we come forward, I suggest you get to your phone lines. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Tabitha Smiley's new book, The Covenant with Black America, 20 years later, is now on sale everywhere. This classic text shot to #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list almost 2 decades ago. If you have the original book, you will surely want to get this 20th anniversary edition with powerful new contributions from today's leading voices. This 20th anniversary edition presents a compelling blend of historical insights and contemporary urgency in this critical and unprecedented election year. Get your copy of The Covenant with Black America 20 years later today.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah. We at war. We at war with terrorism, racism, but most of all, we at war with ourselves. God show me the way because the devil's trying to break me down. You know what the Midwest is, young and restless, but restless might snatch your necklace, and next these might jack your Lexus. Somebody tell these who Kanye West is. I walk through the valley of the shadow where death is. Top floor, the view alone will leave you breathless. Try to catch it, it's kinda hard getting choked by detectives. Yeah, and I check the method. They be asking us questions, harass and arrest us, saying we eat pieces of like you for breakfast, huh? Y'all eat pieces of what's the basis? We ain't going nowhere but got suits and cases. A trunk full of coke, rental car from Avis. My mama used to say only Jesus could save us. Well, mama, I know I act the fool, but I'll be gone to November. I got packs to move.
Go get the life you want, and I really lost that in my spiritual journey. You know, I got to, let things come to me. Let me be passive. Let me be peaceful. What's going on, guys? In this video I want to talk about some of the dangers of spirituality for men. And so over the last couple years I've really dove in headfirst into spirituality, things like ayahuasca, meditation, mushrooms, whatever it might be, really working to understand the inner workings of myself and come to more peace in my life. And this is something that I think every man will do at some point in their life, but I want to talk about what I've noticed in the spiritual community, but also in my own journey of some of those dangers. So let's get into it right now. So getting into it right off the bat, spirituality for me, or better understanding of myself, understanding my purpose, diving into meditation, things like that, has been very powerful. One of the best journeys I've taken personally for myself. I've been able to get to a place of more peace, more calm, more certain in what I'm doing, more certain in my direction. But one of the things that I've found is that a lot of men, as they start to transition into spirituality, is they forget the other side of spirituality. Spirituality, for the most part, is really deep in the feminine, right? It's understanding intuition, it's feelings, it's healing traumas, it's all of this. But a lot of men, myself included, go too far this way. And I really caught myself at the beginning of this year really feeling like I had let go of and actually died to a lot of the parts that actually make me more of a man. That aggression to go get what I want in life. That certainty and clarity to take those things that I really want for me. And one of the things I learned living in the Amazon with the tribe, if some of you know my story, is that I saw the full range of masculinity there, right? I saw the men who were there taking care of the family, taking care of their household, but I also saw the complete savages that men would be in hunts, and that we all have that in ourselves. As men, we still have that element, that savagery, that going and getting it, like go take what you want. And I love this video here from P. Diddy. I'll show it on the screen real quick.
Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want, I have to get!
But it's this energy, right? It's this energy to go get the life you want. And I really lost that in my spiritual journey. I got to, let things come to me. Let me be passive. Let me be peaceful. And really forgot about the other side of spirituality, which is actually really being a man.
I had to play it. I'm sorry. But let me explain. Spirituality, And like I said before, a lot of people misunderstand the purpose of relationships. Spirituality is a self-realization machine, right? That's what spirituality is. And how you discover yourself. Yes, that was a clip of Diddy when he said he's a savage. He had just closed the deal. It was during one of those Making of the Band TV shows, and he really went crazy and tore up the whole office because he had just closed a major deal, and he was basically saying, I get anything I want. Right? And the reason why this is apropos, right? Krishnamurti, it is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. In our society, everything is predicated on what we get. Do you see? So more power. I can remember a time where I sat down with Steve Rifkin, who used to own Loud Records. Oh, he still owns Loud Records, Loud RCA Records. I sat down with him, Coolio, Devontae from Jodeci, and Razkaz. And I was trying to get a deal for Razkaz when I was an A&R guy. I was trying to get, and we gave Razkaz a deal at that table, but he took the deal and went somewhere else and leveraged it to get a better deal from them, which later backfired for him. But that's neat. I digress. But I'm talking with Steve Rifkin, and Rifkin asked a question: how much money would you guys need to just be good, to be cool? Well, Coolio was like, man, I'll take like 10 million. And I think we all kind of was in that range, 10 million to do it. This is 94. Hey man, 10 million, I'm good. When I come forward, I'm going to tell you Steve Rifkin's answer.
The only thing that I pray is that my feet don't fail me now. And I don't think there's nothing I could do now to right my wrongs. I want to talk to God, but I'm afraid because we ain't spoken so long. God, show me the way because the devil's trying to break me down. The only thing that I pray is that my feet don't fail me now. And I don't think there's nothing I can do now to right my wrongs. I want to talk to God, but I'm afraid.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Vice President Harris says far too many Palestinians have been killed during the Israel-Hamas war. Speaking at a discussion hosted by the National Association of Black Journalists in Philadelphia, Harris said she supports Israel's right to defend itself, but also how it defends itself also matters. She again stressed that a ceasefire deal is needed now. Touching on a wide range of issues, Harris also touted an economy for everyone in the U.S. and vowed to make home ownership more affordable for everyone. Wendy Williams' conservator is suing over the recent docuseries on the former Black talk show host. Page 6 reports Williams' conservator Sabrina Morrissey is suing A&E Networks, Lifetime, and the show's creators. She claims 60-year-old Williams only made $82,000 from the project, whereas Wendy Williams, while those named in the lawsuit, likely made millions. In February, it was revealed that Williams was diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia as well as aphasia. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
September 15th to 21st is Asthma Peak Week with the highest concentration of asthma flare-ups and hospitalizations. To become a more active participant in your care, visit luma-edu.com. This message is brought to you by Amgen and AstraZeneca.
I need your dollar, that's what I need.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates small businesses, the enduring lifeblood of our community, with the launch of the KBLA SMB Marketplace. For the first time, small to medium-sized businesses will have an opportunity to promote their goods and services on KBLA and take advantage of our powerful reach and local marketing power. The SMB Marketplace is hosted exclusively on KBLA1580.com and is accessible from all our social media channels. Whether you're a small mom and pop restaurant, a car dealership, or a professional practitioner, we We invite you to join in this new KBLA Talk 1580 initiative to promote your business. As a Black-owned small business, you don't want to miss this unique opportunity to gain new customers on KBLA Talk 1580. For more information, contact us today at smb@kbla1580.com. That's smb@kbla1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
And if I share with you my story, would you share your shadow with me? Time to get
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelinos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
Oh man, looks like Bobby needs a ride to the airport again.
Grab the keys.
Who's taking Auntie and her friends to the swap meet?
Grab the keys.
How about we drop these boxes off at Miss Johnson?
Grab the keys.
Whether you're giving rides or hauling gear, you're all about getting things done. So do it all in a Chevy SUV. From the versatile Equinox and sporty Blazer to the roomy Traverse, our lineup of SUVs will carry you through every adventure. All you have to do is...
grab the keys?
That's how we do. Head to your local Chevy dealer, where well-qualified buyers get 1.9% APR on all 2024 Silverado 1500, Blazer EV, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Colorado models. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $2,860 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment, 12.7%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 9/30/24.
Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up, then spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Helping to broaden your political and moral imagination with our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Knowledge and wisdom bring understanding. For the culture, bringing freedom to the planet. The power to refine how we planned it. Bring equality to God's economy. Build the truth, destroying the booth. What I was born to do, decipher for you. Hey Allah, what you wanna be when you're born? What you really need to see is yourself in divine form. For the sake of equality, I'm fathering the song. Spirit of God, bring he and her along. They mistreat Islam, no justice performed. Till I'm crowned king, love, hell, right or wrong. The master, dominate the stages I'm on right now. And it won't end when I'm gone. Control the cipher, I got the power, bring it on. Watch your queen get snatched like a pawn. Slicker than a ruler, the savior is born. Tell you the truth, you square, your style's all wrong. You ain't understanding the universe. Some say they want the victory, but don't wanna rehearse. Gotta work with the wisdom if you want it to work. We don't fear the unknown. Staying in the zone, ask why I reply. To each his own. Roll a zigzag zig, cause the God came home. Let's go.
Praise him all you can. The woman and man. Praise him with your heart. Praise him with your mind. Praise him everyone.
All right, beautiful. Round 2, we are starting again the podcast. Technical difficulties. And Matt, welcome back. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, mate.
We should have recorded this podcast even last week on the way, and we even contemplated in the car as we were driving from Sydney to Canberra, but the whole day blew out, and we wanted to make sure we have a good mic and good volume and good all that kind of stuff. So we postponed it till a week later after our Canberra and Sydney events. And as always, we have many conversations in the car, and we wanted to discuss, because something that keeps coming up is around men and spirituality and leaning into the heart. Because clearly, what were the numbers you just said? We had about 140 people combined over the weekend, and probably
11
10 men at best.
Yeah,
11.
Yeah. It depends on if you count us or not. It's questionable sometimes.
Exactly. And one of the questions that came up was, why are there so little men stepping into that room and the work?
And I think she also framed it as, what caught me was when she posed that question, she said, there's a lot of men out there that could really benefit from this, but they're not here. And she says, what advice do you have for men based on your journey to find this work, in essence, find their hearts, I think. And that really spoke to me because, we speak to that as well. And it's a very common number. We're all very well aware of the fact that under 40, the leading cause of death for men is suicide. And that's just shocking. So, and I think it stems a lot from just this, the work that we do is finding our true selves, is coming back into alignment with our authentic self and what's true for us. And I think what society tends to do, or what we tend to adhere to through society, is this disconnect from our true desires and our truth of who we are and what we are supposed to be, whether it's a role that we play through being a father or a partner or a career-minded person or what have you. And a lot of times it's at the detriment of what is true to us, what is true for our hearts. And I think over time that starts to chip away at a foundation that we have as being human and how we meet the world, that ultimately can lead to a tragic end.
Oh, they talking the truth. See, this is the kind of conversation that most men don't want to have, because it's about vulnerability, right? I told you relationship is a mirror. Relationship is the space where you see yourself, where you acquire self-knowledge, right? We're not trying to acquire self-knowledge. We're trying to acquire things. The more things we acquire, the more power we acquire, the less internal work we have to do until we've acquired the world and still find ourselves feeling empty. The concept of a spiritual gender gap challenges us to confront deep-seated societal and psychological dynamics that shape how men and women relate to spirituality. Right? Remember what we said before on previous shows. We live in a world and a society that says love is not enough. Even though we go to church on Sunday and they say God is love, synonymous with. The kind of Beyonce, Jay-Z crazy in love that I would sacrifice my child to save people who don't really care. It's the light that shineth in the darkness, yet the darkness comprehendeth not. Yeah, that kind of love. Well, fast forward 2024, and it's been many decades since, people have been saying, or previous to this, people have been saying love is not enough. Love don't pay the bills. People would choose security, comfort, and quiet over love. Let's just be honest. Security, comfort, and quiet over love. Right? Because love, in effect, is unconditional. In the current landscape of spiritual discourse, men are often perceived as spiritually closeted or stunted even, raising profound questions about the impact of social conditioning, gender roles, and internalized stigma on men's spiritual development. Right? On tonight's show, we're trying to dig deep. Call in 1-800-920-1580. We're trying to dig deep and explore the premise of the spiritual gender gap, its origins, and the possible ramifications for relationships, personal growth, and societal norms. I believe that men are stunted first emotionally and then spiritually. Men are about go get it. You heard that little clip I played where Sean Diddy, P. Diddy, and I feel for the brother's family for sure. But y'all heard that clip where he goes nuts after he closes a deal? And you can feel him. He in there like, yo, there's nothing in the world. I'm on top of the world. There's nothing in the world I can't do. You understand? That's masculine energy. Masculine energy is about going out, conquering, ruling. But if masculine energy is not tempered by self-awareness, which comes from spiritual practice, right? Masculine energy could be death, destruction. Look at it, okay, let me make it simple. Look at it in terms of astrology. The god of war is Aries, right? Who rules the god of war as a planet? What rules the god of war? Aries. Mars. You take the M in Mars, turn it upside down, it's wars. Do you understand? Now, flip it. That's masculine energy. Masculine energy without a spiritual center could be death and destruction, uncontrolled. But feminine energy can give life indiscriminately when they don't have a spiritual balance. Ooh, we talk about broken boy picker when we come forward. The voice of reason gonna keep this fire lit. Hey, I'm going in.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
October 2nd is California Clean Air Day. Go Metro for free and help cut down on pollution and traffic. It's our way of thanking you because every ride makes a difference. Let's clear the air together. Ready to go right now? Head to metro.net. Tips to help improve basic steps for building a budget in 2024. Building a budget can help you achieve and reach your financial goals. With a budget, you can keep track of your spending, avoid and get out of debt, limit overspending, pay bills on time, and build solid savings habits. What's the best way to get started? Figure out how much to set aside for expenses, like rent, mortgage, bills, groceries, and entertainment. Understanding your past financial habits can help you make the proper adjustments for your budget. Adjusting to a budget can take time as you work to find the right balance, but keep working on it. For more financial health tips, visit chase.com or stop by a local branch. This segment is sponsored by JP Morgan Chase & Company.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chucha's opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chucha's Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
This what God feel like. Yeah. Laughing to the bank like yeah. Flex on swole like yeah. You feel some type of way then Ever since a young man, all I wanna be was a gunman. Shooting up the charts, better run, man. Y'all gotta see that I one man. Slickest out the bars with the finger waves, work at JT. Handlebars like a fade, watch me work at JT. I'm at large, running plays like a circuit JT. I'm selling versus JT, watch me work at JT. Look. Hold up. Don't judge me, my mama caught me with a. Don't judge me, I was young and other rats. Don't judge me, aim it at your head for a stack.
Every single one of us has both masculine and feminine energy inside of us. Now, one of the problems that I see with masculinity in general is a lot of men that become spiritual many times will become beta males. In this video, I'm going to show you why that is, how to have healthy masculinity, and how to be both spiritual and masculine at the same time, while also healing the wounds that may come up in the masculine or the feminine growing up. Welcome back to another video. My name's Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, we're gonna be going deep on understanding how to have healthy masculinity and why and how to go from being more of a beta male to more, you could in a way say it's more alpha, but in a way just how not to be beta. Because there's this connotation in society that when we are alpha, it means we're like, you know, with the rod and we're like, just like angry and telling people what to do, and there's like this almost this polarity. It's either you're a really, really nice beta male that wants to do everything for everyone else and just wants to please everyone, or you're this alpha male that's got like this chip on the shoulder and is like very angry. And the part of this is understanding one's more healthy. Well, not that one's more healthy, but there's a middle way that is healthy. And both ways though, if it's extreme alpha or extreme beta or alpha in general, There are shadow sides to each of those depending on the energy. Now, let me explain why I think many men and you can use this for either way. I understand as well there may be some people in same-sex relationships, and normally in same-sex relationships there be polarity. Normally, if there's a sexual attraction, there will be some type of polarity, which means that one person will have more of a masculine frame and one will have more of a feminine frame. So this works either way, but just in general, I'm going to use the word men a lot when I talk about this, just to keep it simple. When we talk about beta males, one of the things that's happened is a beta male is somebody that's kind of, think about as the alpha is the leader and the beta male is the one that's following.
Now, as Dr. Jashana Johnson would say, beta, alpha, sigma, whatever, that's wolf hierarchy. It has no standing in psychology. It's not psychologically supported by anything. So the whole alpha male, beta male, all of that is all goofy and is not supported by anything. That's the end of that. Okay? And scene. But let's get a little deeper into what was being said. Spirituality, the study of spirituality, will soften a man because he does tap into his more feminine side. And as the video stated in the beginning, yes, there's two sides to men and women. There's masculine and feminine. There's linear, logical, and spiritual, non-linear. I keep telling people women represent the spiritual, non-linear side. Men represent the masculine, linear side. You saw it in the studies of ancient Kemet, when they said the pyramid, which all pyramids are phallic symbols. We have bin-bins and, I don't even want to get into it. But when they talked about the pyramid or the mound rising out of the primordial waters of noon, the chaotic waters of noon, noon represent women, femininity, the chaotic waters of creation. The physical aspect, just like a baby comes out of water, amniotic fluid. Do you see? You have to understand, for men, it's difficult for us to grasp spiritual concepts because even the word spirituality, if we look it up etymologically, what we'll find is the etymological root of the word spirituality brings us to a term immateriality, something that is immaterial. What? Like men are result based. Did you hear the lyrics to the record I played before? Kendrick? This is what God feels like. Laughing to the bank. Like, do you see? Going to the bank is what God feels like. See, success is what God feels like to a man. Rising up in the world, conquering the world. And this is what's got us in this predicament today. What does absolute power do to a man? Or a woman for that matter? Y'all know the saying. What does absolute power do to a person once they've gotten a piece of it? What happens? They are corrupted by the power. Why? Because power is not meant for you to hold on to. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Power represents a moment, doesn't represent a lifetime. This is why every dynasty has fallen at some point. Do you understand? To be spiritually closeted means to suppress or hide one's true spiritual beliefs due to fear of judgment, familial or societal obligation, or an internalized sense of inadequacy. Sounds like attachment theory, doesn't it? It is akin to living behind a facade. Sounds like Carl Jung in The Mask, right? Where a man may perform spiritual duties such as prayer or attendance at of religious services, yet internally may still feel disconnected or at odds with those practices. Social conditioning around masculinity often plays a significant role in this dissonance. Men conditioned to be material providers and leaders may feel that openly expressing their more nuanced or divergent spiritual beliefs threaten their societal identity or familial authority. Are y'all listening? Most of the men you dating, you've never really met him. He gives you the tame version of him. And that's considered the healthy ones. You get an unhealthy one, you gonna see the untamed part of him. But for the most part, a virtually healthy man is not going to show you his untamed side. Because most people can't really deal with men as they are. And the same is true if you flip it around. Most men can't deal with women as they are. Right? You know how many women go to bed sexually unsatisfied? Do you know how many women? Ah, gosh. But the whole premise of tonight's topic, men have to find a new moral compass. And I'm talking about our men, brothers. Right? Our compass is tribal, dogmatic. We have to find a moral compass that deals with the truth of who we are, the knowledge of self that we have extrapolated from intimate relationships. Now, we can't extrapolate any knowledge about ourselves, about who we are, if we're afraid to open up and be vulnerable. Now, I've been there before, brothers. But that's how you discover yourself. And the same is true for sisters. That's how you discover yourself. Vulnerability, open. Relationships are inherently spiritual. But you got to want to go through this school. You got to want to go through this process. If you refuse to go through the process, your relationships will be merely transactional and safety-based. Based on keeping the fear out. When I come forward, you think I ain't got it? I got more. When I come forward, I got more to talk about. Let's get it.
Flex on swole like you feel some type of way then
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Vice President Harris says far too many Palestinians have been killed during the Israel-Hamas war. Speaking at a discussion hosted by the National Association of Black Journalists in